Hey Paul, how you doing? We're just getting set up here. Got first pole that's gonna go in the water is strawberry jello covered dough balls. Set up on a high-low rig. I'm gonna get her in the water and see if we can catch some carp. Doing good. Was camping this weekend. Heat was insane. Nice. I wish I could have gone camping. I did manage to get out and do some pike trolling yesterday though, which was fun. I've been dying to get out and do some pike fishing. Jory's Game Bites. What's up everyone? Much love, blessings, beautiful. Hope you all have a great day. I appreciate that, Jory's Game Bites. Welcome to the live. Welcome everybody. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. Hey Stephanie, welcome. We have one pole in the water so far. It is our carp rod. Gotta get a bell on it, and then we will get a second rig set up here. Just a moment, guys. Zoom that in a bit for y'all. Satvik Mishra said hi. Hi Satvik. Paul's way. Me and Steel City only caught 4 carp over the weekend. Hey, that's 4 carp. Any good sized ones? I did alright when I was out pike fishing. I got 6. Nothing real big. I think the biggest one I got was about 6 pounds. But we were trying out new lures and trying out too. I got a new lure camera, the Water Wolf 2.0, I think it's called. So we got some interesting footage of some follows on the lures, and I did get one pike catch on the pike cam. So I'll be posting that in the near future. A couple of 18s and 20s, nice. A little small, but still nice carp. SoCal, what's up, man? How you doing? Oh, doing great. I missed your live yesterday. I saw after I got back home from pike fishing. How'd you guys do at the bay, SoCal? I'm doing good. We just got set up here. I got one pole in the water here so far for carp. And I'm trying to decide what I want to run on my other rig. I did bring some different hooks. I don't like those hooks that I've been using. I think that's part of the reason why past couple of times I've been here, why I was missing so many hook sets. Total shit show yesterday, so I was sorry to hear that, SoCal. That's no fun. Ooh, she's toasty out here today. Sure wore a long sleeve, but I'm gonna get burnt. No luck finding a spot, or just no fish caught. I got rained out from my pike fishing trip. Hey Josie, welcome. Yeah, I went up to Pishkin yesterday. Got there pretty early. Had 2 catches within the first 30 minutes. It was the start of a wonderful day. It was a little slow for the next few hours, and then out of nowhere the the skies all turned gray and black, and it just started pouring on me. So cut my day real short. I did end up with 6 pike though, which is pretty decent. The split live with the wife was a total failure. Weird camera interference, massive crowd, 0 fish. Oh man, that's a shame. Yeah, I've been having issues trying to stream from this spot. The first few streams that I had, it went really well. The last time I tried streaming from here, I think Josie was one of the only ones that stuck it out. It kept crapping out every 30 minutes or so. Every time I touched the camera, the damn thing would go into a loop. So hopefully we have a little better luck today. I managed to catch a carp here on stream the last time that I came, which is just a little guy, but nice little carp. But that's what we're set up with on this pole here. We have bread balls and strawberry jello. See if anything's interested today. Skipjack Cindy, sup, Wanna? Hey, Skipjack, welcome. How are you doing today, Cindy? How was your 4th? I gotta get a second rig set up here. Video is awesome, but the audio had some weird chirp and massive echoes. Oh man, the audio issues are a pain in the butt to troubleshoot. In fact, I should get out before I forget my external mic for the stream here. Y'all math ain't mathin'. Separate your phones some, SoCal. Yeah, that could be. If you have them too close to each other, I'd imagine you'd get weird feedback. GM Pierno Pesca says salute from Italy. Welcome. I'm gonna call you Gia. Hit that thumbs up. Thanks, Skipjack. Thanks, Cindy. I appreciate it. What a lot of people in here, surprisingly. It's one of the early. I normally don't stream this early, but I was sitting around the house and looked outside, and it just looked so nice out today. Like, why am I inside? Let's go fishing. We have probably 4 hours for me to stream today, and then I gotta go pick up the kiddo's mom from work. So hopefully we can get some fish on the line for y'all. I do need to get this second pole set up here. I'm not sure what I want to put on it yet. Did bring some different hooks, as I was mentioning. The hooks that I've been using here, they work real well. Carp bite differently than sucker and bass. So I'm gonna try some of these octopus hooks. It's what I normally build my trout rigs with, because they're a much more timid biter, and these are a heck of a lot smaller. I'm in such a bad habit of running oversized hooks because I usually go for big fish, and there aren't a whole lot of big fish in this pond. Go in for some kitties, Neil Bart says. There are bullhead in here. They're just itty bitty little catfish though. They're 6 to 9 inches-ish. We may get one. They're pretty uncommon catch from here. There aren't a lot of them in this water body. But mainly we're targeting carp on this pole right here, and I'm gonna set up a worm pole on a second pole. And we're going to, I think I'm still gonna go with the little corkies, but I'm only gonna run one of them this time from a sinker, and we're gonna do it with octopus hook here instead of the weirdo Amazon hooks that I've been using. Paul says relaxing in the AC, was camping this weekend, was so hot. Oh man, yeah, when it's hot like that, it's hard to do much of anything. It is unfortunate though. Sucks going all the way out somewhere to camp and then sit in front of an AC the whole time. But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Welcome everybody joining. Skipjack Cindy says, I'm beat up, Paul. Why is that? What happened, Cindy? Paul says, sorry to hear that. Skipjack says, maybe SoCal. We're gonna try again Friday. Oh, I missed something that SoCal set up there. We tried a bunch of different placements for the phone. I'm almost wondering if the electronic thinks from the 509 million boats on the bay had something to do with it. I mean, I suppose that's a possibility. You could be getting interference from other stuff. How was your signal, though? That's the biggest problem I've had with streaming on YouTube so far, is most of the places that I go, I get 2 bars, and 2-3 bars if I'm lucky, and YouTube doesn't like it. It streams fine for a while, and then my stream just spazzes, and I gotta restart it. Try again Friday. Paul said 7 a.m. and 28 degrees was brutal. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, if it's that hot that early in the day. Oh man, that's rough. Cindy says I got pulled around behind the boat. At least an impression. Oh shit. Were you tubing or? I assume you were tubing. Jet ski or what do you call it? Not jet skiing. I don't know what the hell it's called. Yeah, I'm too old for that shit. I'm already falling apart. I don't need anything else to help me along the way. 2 a.m. and it was 26 degrees. Yikes. See, and that's no fun either. I guess you're in a camper, so you got the AC. I rough it in a tent, so when it gets hot like that, it just gets miserable. You get all sweaty, and I have a hard enough time sleeping usually anyway, to begin with. So hot temperatures like that, I don't sleep. I'd be out night fishing if temperatures were like that. Cindy says bruises all over everything. Well, that's unfortunate. Did you have fun at least? I mean, it sounds like a blast, but the day after, the aftermath doesn't sound very fun. All right, we have one leader and hook rigged up here. Let me see if hopefully I brought my little corkies. I know I have one on the rig that I just threw out that I don't need on there. What did I do with the other ones? There we go, there's one. All right, so for those of y'all who are unfamiliar with what a little corky is, it's this guy right here. It's just a floating ball. They come in all different colors, and they come in pill shape, circle shape. And what you do is you feed that onto your leader, which in this case I'm using 12-pound fluorocarbon. And you can either leave it sliding on there, which it'll end up floating all the way up to your hook, and it just presents your bait up in the water. What I'm gonna do, it's called pegging it. You can do it with a bobber stop, or you can do it with a toothpick. Unfortunately, I don't have either with me, so I'm gonna peg it. Just grab a little stick and basically shove it in the hole, and we're gonna do it 2-3 inches up from the end of the hook. That way it acts as an attractant. It acts to bring your bait up off the pond floor. break it off in here twice. But when you let it get all the way to the hook, apparently it can mess with your hook set. It makes it harder for the fish to bite and hold on to it. So we are now pegged. It's not sliding anymore. So we're good to go. Grab something here. All right, so we're gonna rig it up. If I were trout fishing in the river or a stream, float fishing, oftentimes this is how the guides will set you up here often in Montana to catch trout on the river when they're floating. So this is my main line, which is just 30-pound test braid, your snap with a swivel, and I'm just actually hanging this is like a 3/8 ounce lead sinker, and then we have about 16, 18 inches of fluorocarbon leader with the little corky pegged about 3 inches from the end. So what this is going to do is this sinker is going to sink to the bottom, and then the little corky is going to float this up off the bottom 16 to 18 inches. And we'll bait it with a worm. I'm messing what everybody's saying here. Oh geez, y'all are talking up a storm here. And I'm over here babbling. Hold on. Try and catch up on chat here. Grey Wolf says, good luck, brother. SoCal says we have a full cell signal at that spot. It's an impression. Or Bruce Cindy. Skip says, yes, it was. Paul's at 2 26. Bruises sore. My joints are loosened. Ibuprofen will be my friend this week. Yeah, that's me. It does. It helps get rid of inflammation. That sucks, though. Hope you feel better, Cindy. Kato says, I caught a 6-pound bass today. That's huge, Kato. I wish I could catch a 6-pound bass somewhere around here. They're in here. I've seen people pull 5-6 pounders out of here. Not very many, but they're in here. So says I'd be able to get out on the boat. On a towable water toy. Yeah, no thanks. It was a blast. I got some air. You pay to play in the middle age. Paul says, what do you define as middle age? Always fun until the next day when your buddy reminds you you're not 20 anymore. I hear you there. I overdo it oftentimes. Paul says, okay, I'm 30. I'm past middle age already. Well, I wish I was 30 still. I'm in my low 40s now. I feel older every day. Unfortunately, deal with chronic pain, have Crohn's disease. Paul, that's unfortunate. I had a buddy in high school that his dad had Crohn's, and he was miserable. That's a nasty disease. It's right around when your body reminds you we're not spraying chickens. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to catch up here. I'm following Cindy around just in case. Yeah, Cindy pops up all over the place. She's good company, though. Paul's way it happens. Been dealing with health issues for the past 10 years. Yeah, it's life. That sucks, though. Drop the like, people. Appreciate that, just in case. Thank you. And who's that? Josie. Welcome back, Josie. I played until it made me sick. Too much lake water. I went until I physically couldn't. There were a good 45 minutes. I didn't know if I was going to go to bed. You got to get out there and have some fun sometimes, Cindy. That's worth it. All right, let's stop chatting here. Let's get this pole in the water and catch some fish. Grab some worms. I was gonna bring my leeches today and try them here, but every time I put them in a bag, I need to get a new container for them. That's the problem. The container that they come with, it frickin' leaks. I always end up getting to whatever water body I'm headed to, and I have no water left in my damn leech container. But we're not going to throw a whole lot of worm on here. It's a pretty small hook. So I'm going to give her 3 stabs. We're going to bring the tip up over the end to try and hold it. Man, this is a leaky worm. Dripping all over the place. All right. Throw this in the hole. Alright, we're plugged in, we are charging. This bait put away. Alright. Probably already lost the worm on this. Worms in this water body don't last long. Type in chat and let me know if the stream's still good. And if it does end up looping or going weird, hit the like button, Joseph. Okay, cool. Yeah, if it does spaz, normally I can still see your guys' chats. Just let me know if it's acting funny and I'll restart it. I'm in a slightly different spot than I streamed from the last couple of times, so hopefully. Soaking. I just got the second pull in. We have not yet caught anything. But I just got the worm pull in the water, and I get pretty constant hits off this usually when I'm fishing it. We switched to a different hook today. I'm trying to see if I can improve the hookup ratio. I get constant hits, but I've been having a hell of a time landing anything. I suspect it might have been the weird new hooks that I've been using. And before I forget, and upgrade Cindy here. There we go. I need to move my chair out of the sun. I can't see anything. Welcome those just joining. Currently we are at Largent Bend Pond, which is just outside Vaughn, Montana. I fish here a lot. It's mainly a bass pond. That's what most people come here to fish for. I usually fish for carp here, sucker, and I've been trying for a couple of years now to pull a trout out of here. There's supposedly trout in here, but I don't believe it. I did bring today though, which I might get around to setting up. I recently bought a castable bait camera, so a lure camera. You put it on the end of your line, and then you put your lure on the end of it, and you can cast it out. I was able to get some pretty cool footage this weekend trolling for pike. I have not yet tried it in a pond setting. I wanted to try it for carp fishing here. See if I can get some cool footage of carp hooking up. What you got on the hook? So the pole on the right here with the bell on it is a carp pole. We have a high-low rig on there, which is basically a steel leader with 2 steel T standoffs on it, a high one and a low one. Sinker on the bottom, about 8-inch fluorocarbon leader with a hook, and then we're baited up with ready to cook pizza dough dipped in strawberry jello, so dough balls basically. So that's a carp pole, and I did actually catch a sucker off of that same bait last time I was here. And on this guy we have a bottom rig, so a sinker, and then about 16 inches of fluorocarbon leader with an octopus hook and a worm, and then pegged about 3 inches from the end of the leader is a little corky. So we're not actually fishing on the bottom, we're fishing about 16 inches-ish off the bottom with the worm. And there's all sorts of stuff in here that might eat it. We have the largemouth bass, we have white sucker, we have yellow perch. There are black bullheads, yellow bullheads, which are little catfish. There's bluegill, there's pumpkinseed, spot-tail shiner I think I've seen come out of here. One goldeye one time I saw come out of here. And there's supposedly rainbow trout and brook trout stocked as well. So there's quite a few different things that we could pull out of here. And a name that I cannot pronounce, saying something I cannot read. Hello, I don't know what language that even is, man. I'm sorry. Somebody help me out here. Any idea what this? There's a hello from them. Hello. Is that Cyrillic? Is that what language is that? RHD Tackle says I subbed. Appreciate the sub, RHD Tackle. Welcome to the live. How you doing today? Anybody have any idea what language that name is? Russian? Is it Russian? Josie says, I went fishing this morning, caught a decent bass, 2 pounds, 14 ounces, almost 3 pounds. Nice. Caught a lot of smaller ones also. Were you fishing your new, that same rubber rig that you were using, but that they keep biting the tail off of? Or were you fishing something else? I need to grab a soda here. Soda and a cigarette. Be back in just a moment, guys. Alright. Oh. I'm doing great. Yes, thanks. Russian. Okay. Well, welcome, guy from Russia. Hope you're having a good day. Popper mostly. Okay, nice. Yeah, I fish the whopper plopper often, but just a basic plopper. I've never got good at the retrieve required for topwater. Is kind of a whole different kind of fishing. A lot of those lures require a very specific retrieve, and I'm not very practiced with most of them. I watch people in videos fishing with a lot of different topwater lures. And it's like, oh, damn, I've been fishing that lure wrong for a long ass time. Oh, and she is going right through my fucking lines. Please don't snag up. Whew. Okay, no snags. RHD Tackle says, what state are you fishing? This is Montana. We're in central Montana, just outside Great Falls or Vaughn, Montana. Yeah, it's basically central Montana. Justin says, went live this morning, didn't catch anything worth mentioning. Live did good though. Well, that's good, Justin. Yeah, I've had terrible luck on my lives catching fish. I joke with people that the moment I hit play on the camera that everybody's gonna stop catching fish, which has proven to be pretty accurate. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's I'm just being superstitious or whatever. But yeah, it seems like I did when it's like that when other people are with me too. Like if I fish with somebody else, I rarely catch anything decent. When I go out by myself, I seem to always fish the best. And bringing y'all along with me on camera seems like it curses me to catch no fish or a little fish. SoCal, I didn't realize I wasn't subbed to your channel, Justin. I sub now. Josie says, I didn't catch a lot on the Whopper Plopper. It just kind of got to be the right day for it or something when they bite. Yeah, the topwater's like that, it seems. Some days they really like it, some days they don't. More often not. But it is still fun to try. I did some of the funnest catches I've had, I think, came off of topwater. I'm sorry I'm getting so close to the camera here. We're sitting in the sun here and it's just a massive glare. So you guys gotta look at a close-up of my ugly mug here while I read this. Fish are camera shy. Ain't that the truth, Cindy? I saw a Maine girl get hers last night when I fell asleep. Oh, what'd you guys catch last night? Justin K says it's the truth. When I turn on the cam, the fish turn off. So at least it's a curse for all of us, not just me. Drives me crazy. Maine girl caught a 13-pounder. Oh, nice. That's a heck of a nice catch. Channel or flathead or blue? I know you guys catch a few different ones over there. Topwater's fun. The fish eating topwater. Yeah, I love getting hooked up topwater. Hola, Mesas P. Nicholas, welcome. How are you? She got 2 and I got 1. AJ got a bass. Okay, common carp. Okay, 13-pound carp. That's nice. Yeah, this pond has some decent ones. I don't think it's got any 13-pounders. I think there's a few that are probably. Biggest one that I've landed here in the last couple of years was like 8.8 pounds. A good size, but not a monster by any means. SoCal says nothing beats a good topwater tuna bite. Bite like a freight train. Oh, I bet. Y'all have so many different fish you can catch out of the ocean there. Big fish. I'm kind of jealous. I've just been kind of slowly dragging this across the bottom. I'm gonna reel it in and cast it back out. I was right. I think in the minute that I set the pole down to grab the cigarettes, they stole my bait. There's so many things in here that eat worm. You can't set the pole down. They just demolish it. And they always seem to bite so quickly without hooking themselves. That seems like the case. I don't know if it's just me, but when I fish with a worm, I tend not to get a lot of hookups if I have the pole set down. If I'm fishing with a worm, normally I try to always hold the pole. Otherwise, every time I reel it back in, there's no bait left on it. Hit the like and sub, guys, one time for the small channels. Appreciate that, Justin. It definitely helps. I've very few, and I did break 100 though. I broke 100 subscribers the other day, and I think I'm up to like 118 or something. So doing pretty good. Channel's about a month old. Not bad for 30 days. I've been having a blast streaming and interacting with y'all though. It's much funner than just sitting here in silence. Gotta remind them sometimes, bro. Yeah, hey, you're right. I hate asking people to sub. I figure if they enjoy the content, they'll sub. If they enjoy it, they'll hit the like. But y'all want to harass people, feel free. I just usually don't ask for it. Ooh, it's toasty out today. Cindy, you and Travis need to plan a trip out here for late summer, August, September, prime ocean fishing. Yeah, it'd be cool to do like some regional YouTube fisher meetups. Seems like that's what you did, Cindy. You Maine girl, and who else was with you recently? Because I don't think they're from your area, are they? Sometimes I forget until someone says that, so it's a good idea. You're right, Josie, you're right. But I've posted one video from the trip I made over the weekend to do some pike fishing. Again, I was playing with I picked up the Water Wolf 2.0 2K Wi-Fi, the underwater lure camera, and got some really cool footage of some follows from some pike. And I even got a follow rainbow trout, little swim bait. But yeah, it's just a short that I posted. Really cool footage. And I did get one video of a pike fighting, which is pretty cool. I haven't posted that one yet. Oh, yes, somebody's hat blew away. I just jumped in to go retrieve it. I'd love to set up an offshore charter for all of us YouTube streamers. That'd be fun. Though I am a little wary of. I love being around water. I love being in boats, but a boat, like 10, 15, 20 miles out into the ocean is slightly terrifying to me. I'd still probably do it, but I don't really have ocean rigs. I guess I could use my catfish poles. Maybe even my trolling rods I don't think would be set up. Not for the big ass fish y'all pull out of the ocean over there. Can't hear me over the wind. All right, Josie, let me get my other mic out. Give me a moment, guys. Alrighty, got my other mic up. Can you hear me from this mic, or is it still coming from the camera? Normally I start it up before the stream. Let me know if the audio quality is a little better, Josie. Oh yeah, much better. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's these new mics I picked up. They're pretty nice. DJI mic 2. It's a Bluetooth mic. I wasn't sure if it was going to be windy or not. I should have just set it up from the beginning of the stream. The only thing that I don't like about them is the battery life isn't as great as I would like it to be. Oftentimes when I go out for a fishing session, I like to stay 6, 8, sometimes 10 hours. And the mic on these seems to crap out after about 6. So towards the end of my trip, I normally get a little beep, 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 and it buzzes, and my mic's gone. It definitely helps with the wind, though, the little fuzzy thing. So where's everybody from? I know SoCal's from SoCal. Cindy's from over in Tennessee. Josie, I keep forgetting. It's between 3 here. Michigan, Wisconsin, or... Oh, there we go. There was something. Something's playing with the pole here. Justin, you're from Jersey. All right. I need to pick one up for the boat. Oh, an external mic. Yeah, they're helpful. It's so windy here. I honestly should use them all the time. And I did it came as a set of 2, so I could just when the first one dies, I could switch out the second one. But I've actually got it set up to where one automatically Bluetooths to my GoPro when I set that up, and the other one Bluetooths to my phone when I set it up. So I've been using them for specific recording devices. But it definitely seems to help in the high wind. Once the wind picks up, it's hard listening to people's streams. That wind noise just kind of kills it. Yeah, it is warm here today. It's rough. My pale skin here, I'm gonna be burnt in no time. I've done really good this year. I've managed to wear a long sleeve every time I've been out until today. So today's my pasty white skin's gonna I'm gonna go from Casper here to a lobster in about an hour. Ooh, nibble nibble. Get him? Nope. I should set up the underwater camera on it. I want to see what the hell keeps biting on my line that I keep missing the hook sets on. Took the GoPro and 6 batteries yesterday and never even took it out of the car. Yeah, see, I have a bunch of external batteries for it, but I read early on and watched a handful of videos. Apparently, when you run off if you run off the internal batteries, you only get, and I've never ran off of them, but I read an hour to an hour and a half of record time, depending on what settings you're using on the camera. So I didn't want to have to swap out batteries constantly. That sounded like a pain in the butt. But then if you hook an external charger up to it while the battery's inside to run, off an external battery, it heats up and you overheat often apparently. So I totally skipped the internal battery and I just run straight off an external battery. And I've had pretty good luck with it so far. I just got I think they're 20,000 milliamp or whatever the hell it is, external battery packs, anchors, and they last at 4K 60 FPS. I've been getting a good 8 to 10 hours out of each battery. So that's worked out well. And then the phone, I run that off of I have a whole bunch of DeWalt batteries because I have a whole bunch of power tools. They make an adapter that you can put on top of the battery and run either USB 2 or USB-C cable out the back of it. So that's what I use to charge the phone when I'm streaming. Works out really well. Smaller sunnies, bro. Yeah, there are a lot of bluegills and what are the other ones that are in here? Pumpkin seeds. And they don't get very big. We get, I think, maybe 6 inch, 5.5 6 inches is the biggest one that I pulled out of here. They're just babies. And that is one of the reasons that I tend to oversize my hooks when I fish here, as I get sick of catching bluegill and the damn pumpkin seeds. But I think I went a little bit too large, and oh god, we're in the weeds here. I'm pulling. Ugh. I think I hooked into a log here. Lord. No, I think I'm hooked into you guys' line here. Alrighty, we are back. Sorry about that, guys. Probably that's what it did. Let's see. Let's get 20 likes. We'll probably sunfish. 20 likes would be cool. Oh, we got 17. Thanks, guys. We're getting really close to 20 likes. Mick Masters, hello all. Hey, Mick. Jim Bob, yo. Hey, Jim Bob, welcome to the stream. Hey, Jim, his line is tangled. He'll be back soon. Yeah, I got it untangled. I thought I'd cut a bluegill for a sec, but it was just a it was a dead bluegill on the lady's pole that's fishing from the dock over there. I was cast out pretty much straight from where I'm sitting. I didn't realize she had her line bombed out so far. Alright, we got to pull back in the water. That wind is really starting to pick up here. Did you catch the dinner yet? No, we haven't had. I've had a couple of nibbles, and then the carp pole over here has had zero action so far. Tighten that up. They like to make you wait, though. We're just set up with a floater rig here and a worm. So we'll see if maybe we can pull a sucker out or a bass. There's a bite. Just an itty bitty nibble. Curious, if any of y'all ever fished with, I know they use them for like ice fishing, like a tip up or like a device that is spring loaded and automatically sets the hook for you when you get a bite. Have you ever fished for or used something like that during the summer? I've seen a couple of pole holders that are set up like that I think are not for ice fishing. Just curious if any of y'all have ever used them. And did you ever have any luck with them? Oh, the little boy over at the dock netting bluegills. This pond is just infested with tiny bluegills. I've seen people, a lot of teenagers hang out here and swim. You'll see them over the dock, at the dock, swimming. And usually they get up to catching bluegill eventually. But last year I was here and there were two kids, I don't know, probably 14, 15, and they were jumping off of the dock with, you know, like grocery store plastic bags. And, you know, jumping into the water with the bag open and coming up with a whole bag full of bluegill. Freaking ridiculous. Not during the summer by automatic fishermen, but automatic fishermen are awesome. Jim Bob says, what are we fishing for? So we have a carp pole out. There's white sucker here. There's largemouth bass, yellow perch, yellow bullhead, black bullhead, rainbow trout, brook trout. So the pole that I'm holding in my hand is a worm rig, and I usually use worms here for the reason there's so many different species in here, and worm kind of is the universal bait for all of them. Hey, Josie, I found my snake lure finally. I've been looking for, I got it in the mail a week ago. I put it in my truck, and I've tore my truck apart 3 times looking for it. When I was on the way here today, I was trying to shove my my long pliers my hook removing pliers in the one pocket in the back of my bag, and they wouldn't go down, so I started ruffling around in there, and there was my new snake lure. In fact, let me take it out. I'll show you guys. I want to fish it one of these nights when the top water bite starts. I don't know if I'll catch anything off of it, but it's a Savage Gear 3D snake. It's got, I don't know how many articulations on it, but I've seen a handful of videos of people, excuse me, catching some really nice pike and muskies off of lures like this. So I finally picked one up. It's one of the smaller ones. It's only an 8-inch. I think they make a 12-inch and even a 16-inch. But the action that they have, they just float on the top. Because there's so many articulations, it's got like this big, huge, you know, S that it does in the water. So we might bust that out later this evening and try it. I didn't know what color to get, so I ended up getting gold. $24. They're freaking expensive. But I don't mind spending money like that on topwater, because normally topwater you're not going to lose it unless you huck it into a tree. So as long as I'm careful with it. But yeah, looking forward to trying it out. I thought I had lost it. I thought maybe I freaking dropped it out my car door or something. Oh, our worm's gone. That bite we missed, they stole the worm. But yeah, so this pond that I'm fishing here is called Largent Bend. And there's 3 ponds here. The main pond, pond 1, is too shallow. I'm pretty sure no fish are in it. It gets winter, if there are, it would get winter killed every year. It's just too shallow. The pond I'm fishing in is pond number 2. It's the one everybody fishes in. And it's got, you know, that myriad of species that I just listed off. But then there's also pond number 3, which is about a quarter of a mile southwest from where we are right now. But you gotta wade across a river to get to it. It's called the Sun River, and right now the water's pretty low in the Sun River. It's probably about waist high. But in the back pond, it has all the same stuff that's in this pond, but they stock it with tiger muskie. It's just kind of a pain in the butt to get through. You gotta wade through a river, and you gotta walk quarter of a mile through brush and grass and that, and there's unfortunately in the quarter of a mile that you travel from here to there, I lose cell signal, so I can't stream from there. But I do fish there probably about half a dozen times a year trying to pull a frickin' muskie out. I've had a couple of solid bites back there that the only thing it could have been was a muskie, but I've never managed to land one from it. Sorry, I'm missing chat here. Yeah, Josie, I might try it later tonight. I'm probably gonna end the stream in about 3 hours. I gotta go pick up the kiddo's mom from work. But then after I get her from work, I will probably head back down here and do an evening stream as well. So I'll get another 3-4 hour stream. So I will probably try it tonight once I start seeing stuff feed off the top. Simba says that shit's crazy. I never wanted to catch. You never wanted to catch a muskie? See, I like, that's my favorite fish to fish for around here is northern pike. I like big, toothy fish. I mean, I enjoy catching all different species, but my main target fish is northern pike and tiger muskie. We don't have muskies, we have tiger muskie here, which is a cross between a muskie and a pike. They're just, to me, I mean, they're just a big pike. So it is definitely on my bucket list. And there's this water body right here that has them in it that almost nobody ever fishes because it's such a pain in the butt to get to. And then there's another water body about 90 miles east. That's where the big ones are being pulled out, because they only have a lifespan of, I think, 10, 12 years. And they're nearing the end of that cycle in Ackley Lake right now. So the past few years, they've pulled out half a dozen 50-plus inchers, big tiger muskies. And then there's another water body, probably 30 miles past Ackley Lake, called Dead Man's Basin. And they have just started stocking that one again, I think, within the last 5-6 years. So they're getting fairly sizable in Dead Man's again as well. But I've been trying for the past few years to get one. Closest I've been last year, I had one hooked and up next to the side of the boat, but did not manage to net it. It spit the hook before I could get it in the net. But I'm still trying. It's on my bucket list. I want to get one. Danny, the Stinger Mommy says, just subbed. Appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome to the live. Pure Coops. Welcome. Robert Ferguson said hi. Welcome, Robert. Lots of new people in the live here. Look at that. We got 21 likes. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Welcome, everybody that's joining, especially the new joiners here. We got one carp pole in the water that's had no action yet, and I'm gonna worm on this rig. We're fishing with a little floater on the end of it that rigs up off the bottom. We've had 2-3 bites on it. They keep stealing my worm. I haven't managed to hook one up yet. I suspect it's either the bluegill or the little perch that are toying with it. I think it was not the last time I streamed here, but the time before. Normally I run a high-low rig, so I got 2 hooks on the end of it, and I doubled up and cut 2 perch at the same time. It's always fun to do that. But they're definitely biting. I just haven't hooked up on one yet. But again, if it's the bluegill or the perch, even though I downsized my hook, it's still way oversized for those. Normally I use, if I'm actually targeting those, I use the little micro hooks. I don't even know what the hell size they are. I've never bought them. I find them here all the time. Got a whole bag full of them from picking them up off the ground here at the picnic table. Is it just me, or do y'all find lots of good lures and stuff when you're out fishing? I found so many. In my backpack that I carry when I go bank fishing, I have one whole, snap tackle box that's all found lures. Hooks and topwater and jigs and a bunch of crankbaits, spinnerbaits. I got a whole selection that I've found. I always say it's a good day when I come home with more lure than I left with, or tackle. What's the temperature, Rod? It's a little toasty. I think we're sitting at just over 90 degrees right now. Not too bad, but it's definitely warm. The breeze makes it feel not so bad, though. It should start cooling off, though. We're 1 o'clock, so we're a little bit past midday. In the next couple hours, sun starts. It'll be blocked by the canopy the canopy over the picnic tables here, so we'll be sitting in some shade. And if I don't start getting a little bit more action on this, I might switch to a bobber rig here in a little bit. I've had some pretty good luck in the past here, floating a bobber, and I catch quite a few bass. But the reason I normally don't do that is I've caught quite a few turtle doing it as well. And that is my least favorite thing in the world to catch.
take my metal detector to fishing spots and find them, but I find some when I'm fishing also. Oh, Josie, you do metal detecting? I didn't know that. I had one when I was little. I had such a fun time, and my son, he loves treasure hunting. I've been contemplating getting him one for birthday or Christmas. He's just so hard on things that he's 9, and he's just so hard on things that I feel like he'd probably break it the first time I let him out to use it. If I could get him to use it properly and not abuse it, I think he'd have a blast with it. Oh, these damn ants getting in my soda. Man, that was a fresh soda. Stop setting stuff on the ground. Well, we're gambling here. I don't think there's any ants left in it. All right, that drink was ant-free. Boy, that guy has a noisy reel on his pole. Y'all hear that? He's like a football field away from me. I can hear every crank he does on his pole. I find them off people's piers. I hang them in trees and just break them off and leave them and go through in my boat and get 2-3 bass bait sometimes. Hell yeah. Yeah, I've done that a few times. There's a Sun River, a local fishing spot here that I like to go pike fishing at. There's a really low-hanging power wire that runs across the river on the one side of the bridge, and I've hung a few lures up there, but every once in a while I'll snag it just right and yank it, and I get a whole rat's nest of crap down from it. I think I'm about even with that one so far. I think I've hung just as many up on that power line as I've pulled down. But that's actually the spot that I think I found most of my lures. People just leave them on the damn bank. Found a few really good ones. In fact, one of them, it was it's like a generic whopper plopper. I busted that out here a few streams ago and caught a couple of bass off of it. I always love it though, finding lures. Sometimes I feel bad, especially like the expensive ones. I'm like, damn, if I lost a lure like that, I'd be miffed. But at the end of the day, finders keepers, so. So yeah, for those joining, that's what we're fishing with. So it's a bottom rig. There's a sinker off with a clasp, and then about a 16, 18-inch fluoro leader, 12-pound. And then the little pink ball, it's called a little corky, and it's pegged on the line, so I just took a little stick and wedged it in there, which holds it in place. It's about 3 inches or so off of the hook, and then we're just tipped with a worm. It's a little size 1 octopus hook. So not a huge hook, but we should be able to land a bass or a sucker or maybe a perch with it. Still pretty big. Not likely that I'll get bluegill or any of the sunfish off of it, but that's okay. I'm not really targeting them anyway.
We missed it again. Good Lord.
It's got to just be tiny fish. That's the only rational explanation I have for why I miss so many hook sets here. I should, for the hell of it, switch to one of those micro hooks, or throw the camera on the line so we can see what the hell's going on. That's what I'd like to do. One of these times I'm going to figure out, because it's Bluetooth, it's wireless, it's not wired, but when it goes underwater, I can't, you can only collect the footage from it after you've pulled it back out. But I think if I keep it top water with the floater, I might be able to rig up a way to overlay and stream on top of the YouTube live. Be able to watch the end of my line live. I was really surprised that I tried it out for the first time this weekend when I went to fishing reservoir to do some pike. And I'd always heard the rainbow trout in that water body. I fished for them. They're off on, you know, when the pike bite drops off and I can't get them to bite, I'll throw out some stuff that I normally catch trout with trolling at other water bodies. And I've never managed to catch one. And I've asked a lot of people at the dock, people fishing from shore, and the only people that I've ever had say they caught a rainbow trout there was people ice fishing. But the last short that I just posted, I had a handful of pike follows on one of the lure that I was using, and I had a rainbow trout. I caught a rainbow trout on cam. I don't know if y'all saw that, but that was a big ass bass that just jumped right there. You can still see the ripples from it. But yeah, I caught a really cute video of a rainbow trout, because I troll for pike quite fast, you know, 3 miles an hour-ish, and rainbow trout, they don't swim that fast. Normally when you troll for a rainbow trout, you'll go half a mile an hour, 0.7, maybe 1 mile an hour. It's a really, really slow troll. So my pike troll, I'm doing, you know, 3.2, sometimes 3.5 miles an hour. They like a moving bait, but I captured on the lure camera a rainbow trout, the first one that I've seen in that water body, and oh my lord, he's just giving it his all. Lure to see what it is. It's just this thing that comes into the camera and swim, and it's just getting closer and closer, and he followed it for a good 30-45 seconds trying to catch up to the lure to see what it was. Once he realized that it was not something to eat, he turned and left. But I keep rewatching that video and laughing. He's trying so hard to catch up to see what it was. But hopefully I'll be getting some more and posting some more underwater camera here in the near future. Underwater footage. It's one genre of YouTube clips that I've always been fascinated with. I love watching underwater camera catch cams. So I finally got one, and first time out, I managed to catch, there we go, fish on. I managed to catch some really cool footage. Oh, what is this? We got, man. So this is what I've been trying to avoid, and this is why I think I've been getting so many misses, is this pond is just infested with these guys. And this size 1 hook is just a monster for this little of a fish. But that's about as big as they get in this water body. Itty bitty little bluegill. And it's, I don't know, that one's probably not even 6 inches, maybe 5 inches. That's a little guy. But that's, I think, why I've been missing so many hook sets. It's just these little pests keep stealing my damn bait. But apparently a size 1 hook is not too big to catch a bluegill. Well, we're gonna go let this guy back. There we go. See, I wouldn't mind catching them if we actually had some decent sized ones here, but they're just, I think because there's so many of them in here, they're just, it stunts their growth. That's about as big of a bluegill as I've ever seen pulled out of here. And the Pumpkinseed, which are also a sunfish, same family of fish. They're all about that size. But I think there's just the overpopulation of them leads to there just not being enough food for them to grow bigger. Trying to catch something a little more interesting than that. But we have our first fish of the stream. Itty bitty little bluegill. They're cute little fish. I mean, they're neat little fish. I wish they got bigger here. Always makes me jealous when I watch other people catching bluegill and they're catching like 1 pound, 2 pound bluegill. It's like, good Lord, I wish. Oh, I'm getting nibbles again already. Do y'all catch bluegill where you're at? And if so, how big are they? Am I the only one that has all the ponds around are stunted? It's a common thing that's stocked. You know, overpopulated it with the bluegill. Ooh, there's another. They're nibbling still. I guess you guys can't see the end of my pole. There is a pond I know about 90 miles from here in Helena, which is the capital of Montana. And they have fairly good sized bluegill there. Their largemouth bass are way bigger too. I don't know, whoever manages that pond I think has just done a better job. So we're getting some nibbles here. Nothing that felt like it's worth hook setting though. Welcome those joining. How y'all doing today? Oh, there's some nibbles. Something just picked my bait up and is carrying it. Next time I need to point the camera the other direction. Normally I always hold my pole to the left, but it's off camera for you guys. So I'm trying to hold it over to the right here, but I just can't feel the hook sets or the bites as well. So with this rig, I oftentimes fish it like I do with a bobber, instead of just leaving it stationary in one spot. Zoltan Cox says, hi, put down cigarette. Yeah, terrible habit. It's one of my only vices. Nicotine and caffeine. Those are my two vices, and fishing. But I've been trying to convince myself to quit smoking. It's not going so well so far. But anyways, what I was saying is I oftentimes fish these bottom rigs like I do a bobber. I don't usually just throw a bobber out and leave it sit and watch it. I cast it out and slowly retrieve it to bring it across the water column. And that's kind of what I do with this rig as well. We're just slowly dragging it across the bottom. There's just a soft bottom here, not a lot of snags. So I'm not really worried about snagging up on anything. But again, because I have the little corky on there, my bait's not dragging across the bottom. It's, 14, 16 inches up off the sinker. So our floating through the water column as I retrieve it. So I'll do a couple of reels and then I let it sit still for a minute. Then I do a reel, let it sit still for a minute. Normally I go by feel. If I can feel the sinker hung up on something and I got a good taut line, I'll leave it for a while. But the moment that something pecks at it, or I feel my sinker lift up off the bottom and I feel slack in the line again, drag it until I get a taut line again. It just helps so you can feel those bites, especially when you're fishing for itty bitty little fish. If you have slack in your line, you're not going to feel anything. Oh, there's some nibbles again. So how was everybody's 4th? What'd y'all do for the 4th? I went fishing, pike fishing. Managed to land 6 pike, which is a pretty slow day for me. But it is summer. The pike fishing during the summer is not. I usually don't have great luck pike fishing during the summer. I catch a few, but a good day pike fishing for me is like 15, 20. So 6, it's better than a skunk, but that's pretty slow. But we did catch a couple over 5 pound, which is nice. I'm still trying to pull a lunker out of that water body. I know they're in there. I just have never managed to pull a big one out of Pishkin. It was fun though. I took up on first 2 fish within, it was I think in the first 30-40 minutes of being there. So it was a really good start to the morning, and then the wind and weather came in and ruined my party. I stuck it out. I probably stayed for 2 hours in the wind and rain, but then it started lightning. I don't know if y'all have ever been out on a boat holding a lightning rod in the middle of a lake during a lightning storm. It's not fun. I'm not afraid of many things in life, but electricity scares me. I've had a couple of really close encounters with lightning in my life. It's not something I like messing around with. When I was in high school, I think last day of school, you get a half day at school, so we were leaving, and I think I was walking through Walmart parking lot with a bunch of kids, and a light pole, or one of the light poles in the parking lot, probably 50 feet from the group of us that was walking, got struck by lightning, and it was terrifying. Like 10 seconds before it struck, like hair on my arms is all standing up, and you know, a couple of kids who had long hair, and, you know, it's all like poofing out, and everybody's looking around like, why? What the fuck is going on? And then, wham! Hits the lightning pole. My teeth. It was just that close. But yeah, I don't like lightning. So when it starts lightning when I'm out on a lake, I pull the boat in. I'm done. Not playing with that. And they stole the hook again. Old bastards. I know that getting struck by lightning is a pretty rare occurrence. Apparently, until you've been hit by lightning before. I think I was reading something or watching a video a while back, and there was some guy that had been struck by lightning 7 times in his life or some crazy shit like that. Like, what kind of shit luck do you have to get struck by lightning 7 times in one life? Haywood Jablomi. Welcome, Haywood. Welcome back. What's up? I gotta do some fishing at my favorite easy access pond. Caught a ton of crappie, a fat bluegill, and a small largemouth. Oh yeah. Yeah, we've only had one fish so far this stream. It was a itty bitty little bluegill, which they don't get big in this water body. 4 or 5, maybe 6 inches is the biggest that I've seen come out of here. But again, for those who just joined, what we're fishing with on this rig is a floater rig. It's oftentimes used by people fishing in rivers, floating on a boat, drifting. But it's a sinker, about 16 inches of fluorocarbon leader, and we're just with my crawler here. Trying to see what we can pull out other than bluegill. There's some really nice bass in here. I rarely ever catch them. Oh man, that guy just cast right over the frickin' top of me. Oh, buddy. Bouncer slab and real nature. Thinking face, dot, dot, dot. Sort of squinty. I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to say there, Bouncer. But hello, welcome to the stream. Mahar Raman said hi. Welcome to the stream, Mahar. And Bouncer, how are you doing today? But Haywood, I'm glad to hear you had some decent luck out fishing. We've had one catch so far. Yeah, just one little bluegill. What have we been live? 90 minutes, so an hour and a half. Not great. I've had a bunch of bites, but I think it's mostly bluegill and perch. There's so many of them in here, it's hard to keep a worm on the hook for long enough for the bigger ones to get to it. But there's largemouth in here, there's the yellow perch, yellow bullheads, black bullheads, which are little catfish, rainbow trout, brook trout. What I'm targeting is carp on this pole. There's some good sized carp in here, and then what I'm trying to catch on this pole is either bass or white sucker. It's just typical intro I use. Oh, a bouncer. Well, welcome to the stream. Happy to have you. Two-door Capria 57 says hello. Hey Tudor, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Mahara says, where are you fishing? We are in central Montana. This is, pond is called Largent Bend. It's a local bass pond in Cascade County. But there's a whole variety of different fish that are stocked in here. Definitely getting lots of bites, so hopefully we can pull something out other than one itty bitty bluegill. I have now submitted my subscription. You're going to grow. Appreciate it, Bouncer. Appreciate all you who are subscribing and helping support the channel. I'm a brand new streamer. I've been at it for about a month now, so we're growing steadily. And I appreciate every last one of you that subscribes, likes, comments to the videos. It all helps. No, no, no. I think I probably just lost my worm. Throw a big copper spinner for shits and giggles. I could. Here in a little bit. We're gonna give, let's say we'll fish this worm rig for another 30 minutes. And if we don't catch anything worth a damn, I'll switch out. We can try a few different spinners. Got some crankbaits we could throw. Hell, maybe even throw out a spoon. Right now we're using worms. Gits and shiggles. Always for the gits and shiggles. But probably on tonight's stream, after cools off a little bit and we start seeing some topwater action here, I'm gonna bust out my new snake topwater lure. See if we can get some of the bass excited about a snake. It might be a little big for the fish in this water body. It's an 8-incher. But largemouth bass and perch, honestly. Perch are, I don't know if y'all have fished much for perch in your life, but perch have got to be the most ridiculous species that I have ever fished. I have caught perch on lures that are literally twice big as the perch. Like, I have no idea what the hell they're thinking when they bite at stuff like that. I often catch them as a bycatch when I'm trolling for frickin' pike, you know, using monster lures. 10, 12-inch, you know, rubber swim baits, shit like that. You know, big 7, 8-inch hard plastic baits, and you catch a perch that big off it. Like, Mahar says, all right, you have a good day, man. Wish you some luck. Appreciate it, Mahar. Thanks for stopping in. I'm currently genetically engineering giraffes to only grow 12 inches tall for pets. Everyone will want one. I want one already. That would be a ridiculous pet. I think you're right. If you could succeed in that, you would have